Thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Why did you click on this? What's wrong with you? Did you see that thumbnail? Do you want spoopy dreams? Because this is how you get them. All right, well, at least I warned you. Come on, let's go. What's up, costume fans? It's Dan here, back with a look at all of the unsettling costumes at Disneyland's opening day. I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but for those of you who don't know, Walt Disney himself famously made a last-ditch effort to pack his new park with characters and familiar faces for fans on opening day. But what he didn't fully account for was the appalling condition of the costumes he called in for help. Easily the worst offenders of the day were Mickey and Minnie. These costumes, of course, were famously licensed by the Icecapades and had been used on the ice for several years of shows, touring the country countless times. So they had their fair share of wear and tear, not to mention the endless modifications made to the costume's face to increase visibility for the ice skating performers. The hack job done to the faces of Mickey and Minnie have become my sleep paralysis demons. Hey kids, you wanna know where I got these scars? By a bunch of ice skaters who needed to see more. They actually used their skates. Just look at these two holding hands and running around the park during the opening day special. How did people not flee from their televisions? There are original photos of these costumes in like the original program, and you can see these characters weren't nearly in this state by the time they made it to Disneyland's opening day. I don't know what on earth anyone was thinking letting these two into the park. We can get away with a lot of interesting looks on the ice because the arenas are so large and people are sitting so far away, but these costumes are not an arena anymore. They are shaking hands with babies on the streets of Disneyland. Yeah, kids were literally melting into the asphalt of Disneyland, looking up in terror at Mickey Mouse, stomping towards them. Ah! The Icecapade shows that these costumes came from were particularly famous for a costume gag where two ice skaters would make up one four-legged animal. And it worked famously on the ice, where everything could just glide and smooth and look elegant. Eventually, the Icecapades took this gag and applied it to Disney's cartoon pup Pluto, and sure, it was fun, it was cute, but when you take it to the hot pavement of Disneyland, this thing just looks like a tired camel searching for water. Look at this dog stomping around. It's chaos. It's a mess. The performers inside are standing upright, both of them, causing the most bizarre silhouette of this dog. It looks nothing like Pluto from the side. Donald is another great costume to show the practicality of the Icecapades outfit. His head works so well. That huge bill hides the performer's vision, which comes out of Donald's neck. I love the sculpt and look of this costume. It's really, really beautiful on ice, like we just saw in my Evolution of Donald remaster. Once again, in the park on opening day, this was a mess. The best sculpted head from all the costumes, sure, but with kids sitting on the curb for the parade at Disneyland, instead of looking down at the big bill, hiding the vision of the performer, instead they were looking up to a giant fat neck with a human's head in it. You ever get something stuck in your throat a little bit? Well, it's like that, except with a human's head. Just a short human, out of breath, wheezing in the California heat through the thin white fabric of Donald's neck. And also, can I just say for the record, this looks like Donald's wearing shorts, and as we all know, he's a proud nudist. Oh, Kenny just told me that Donald gets cold on the top and hot on the bottom. All right, guys, it's time to get serious. I know this is an ad spot, but this is actually something near and dear to my heart, and so let's take a break from the silly jokes for just a minute. I'm an enthusiastic participant of therapy. I love what it's done for my life, my anxious thoughts, my overall self-awareness. I don't think I could be a professional YouTuber, silly internet boy if it wasn't for a healthy amount of therapy. Which is why I'm excited about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. The world's largest therapy service with a network of over 30,000 licensed therapists that is 100% online. Answering just a few questions online will match you with a therapist that you can chat with in a variety of ways, from just texting all the way through video chatting. And I love this about BetterHelp. We're making mental health convenient. It's just like on your phone whenever you need it. You can message your therapist anytime to set up online appointments that are best for you. And if your therapist isn't right for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. Therapy is a really phenomenal thing, and it's designed to advocate for you. It's time for someone to start advocating for you. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you with scheduling flexibility and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/DIStoryDan, and I've also linked them below in the description. Pinocchio is probably my least favorite of the entire day. Look at this unsettling wooden boy face and his detached jawbone paired with capri pants and the calves of a professional skater. This thing is gonna chase you all night in your dreams. They should just sell a replica of this costume at Spirit Halloween. All right, what are we waiting for, Spirit? It's got like the childlike horror of a wooden boy top half and the torsos and legs of a normal athletic man. It's like a reverse wooden mermaid. And then he's got like that hole just in the middle of his head. They just put so many holes in these heads. Going back to the four-legged, two-person costume performance of Pluto, Dumbo is where they nailed it. I love this terrifying little beast. The only thing that I really have to complain about Dumbo is just the sheer amount of holes in his head. It's like a ticket booth window. 2 for Avatar 3, please. It's like, come on, what's going on with this thing? How kids definitely know there's people inside this, right? Kenny's like, great Avatar 3 reference, Dan. This video's good till 2028 now. Anyway, Dumbo, he's so stumpy, he's so adorable. I take it all back. He's not terrifying, he's the cutest thing that was really at Disneyland's opening day. Just look how cute he is. And look at him running around Fantasyland in the opening day special. Ooh, he's just so cute. Just want to squish him. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs were at Disneyland's opening day, and man, these spoopy boys are staring directly into my soul. Look at the eyes on these things. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I'm glad they put them on a float. Can you imagine 7 horrifying monsters just stomping towards your kids sitting on the curb? Be like, back off, I can't fight off all 7 of you. They're staring into my soul, like all 7 pieces of my Horcrux soul. Like they can see them all, they can spot them. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Also, I love that the float in Disneyland's opening day parade is essentially equivalent to all of the small town floats I've seen in my local town's Halloween parades. It's I feel like a sort of peace and kinship to that. I've seen a lot of really crappy Halloween floats, and this is right up there with them. Captain Hook and Peter Pan were there. Of course, they had a ride at Disneyland opening day. And now, I think this is Captain Hook. This very well could just be a fancy dressed man from 1955. I don't know how people dressed in 1955, but I want to assume it's somewhere like this. You look around now and you see people dressed weird all the time. It's not that far stretched to imagine a guy in high socks and a wig wandering around opening day at Disneyland, okay? It's the feather, I think, that proves to me it's Captain Hook. But if the feather wasn't there, I don't know. I'd be on the fence. Yeah, without the feather, this just looks like a guy who lives in Liberty Square. You know, he's the town crier, he rings the bell, but the feather really brings the outfit together. I don't know if he had a hook. Can he check the footage? Can you see a hook anywhere? Where is Captain Hook's hook? See, even further proof that this is just a guy who came to the park that day. The White Rabbit, is he just wearing earmuffs on his cheeks? Like, what is, like, I imagine it keeps you super warm on the ice, but in the California sun, I bet this guy's buns were pretty warm. It's like, what is it with wrapping his head in white fabric, except for his face, and then pinching some pipe cleaners on his nose? This is really weird. And then, I love the extra loose pants, once again, that are normally fitted for ice skates at the bottom, but now it just looks like the White Rabbit's wearing bell bottoms, which wouldn't come into fashion for another 2 decades, so the White Rabbit was ahead of its time. And the Mad Hatter, once again, I think this guy just came with Captain Hook. I think that these were just 2 fancy dressed men just enjoying Disneyland on opening day, and now here I am, a YouTuber later, decades later, thinking it's Captain Hook and the Mad Hatter. These are just 2 finely dressed gentlemen. The fairy godmother looks like a time-traveling millennial who's Disney bounding as the fairy godmother. It looks good, actually. I love the whimsy of it. It's like fantasy realism, but and it's not scary. So I mean, but this isn't like a list of like the scariest. I'm just showing you all of the costumes that were there. You know, so deal with it. It's the fairy godmother and it's Tomorrowland Spaceman, the two least scariest humans in the park that day. And perhaps the most tame costume of the entire day, and perhaps winning least terrifying costume on the opening day of a theme park award, would go to Chip, Dale, and Clarice, our three favorite chipmunks. These are, again, pulled directly from the Ice Capade show. You look at the program of the three of them skating on the ice and then look at photos. I mean, it is a direct, like even the accessories. It's just, I love these costumes. They're so simple. They're just woodland creatures. Nothing too fancy about them. And these costumes, unlike most of the other costumes you're seeing in this video, managed to stick around in the parks for a sizable amount of time. Head on over to our Chip and Dale history to get the exact dates. I'm not rewatching it, you do it. We've talked about a lot of these costumes before, but never really in one video where we really focus on Disneyland's opening day and the whole menagerie of characters that were there. And sure, we've come a long way. These costumes are horrific, but we had to start somewhere, and unfortunately that somewhere was the traumatization of a generation of children. I need to find someone who was there at the park. Are you one of these kids in the background of these pictures and videos that we showed during this video? If so, reach out, drop me a line, send me a telegram. I don't know, whatever form of communication was at its peak at the time that your development was stunted and you were traumatized due to meeting literal demons. I don't know how many 80, 90-year-olds watch the channel, but maybe your grandpa was there or something. I don't know, call me. Thanks for watching, guys. Visit us across all of the holy social media channels, as well as the Please Stop Vlogging Summer Vlog Extravaganza. You want to come and visit Kenny on all of our adventures. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your nightmares, and as always, you rock. Kenny's literally trying every flavor of Mountain Dew, and I'm gonna be there. And I'm gonna possibly lose consciousness after I try them all. Will you drink a Mountain Dew that's a year or two old off of eBay? Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. I'm cracking all them old dews.